It's a time of the year where the NFL salary cap becomes a big topic of conversation, and teams got some good news on that front yesterday. Dan Graziano from ESPN reported that the league has informed teams that the cap will fall in the range of $277 to $281 million for the upcoming season. Now that's way up from last year's number of $255 million, and it's increasing by more than $53 million over the last 2 years. Now, the growing salary cap is largely the result of the new TV deals kicking in, so there's just more money to share between teams and the players, and all of that could mean that the Ravens have some more flexibility when it comes to re-signing their own players or going after other players in free agency this offseason. According to salary cap guru Brian McFarland, who has an incredibly detailed breakdown of all this on Russell Street Report. Go ahead and check that out. But he broke it all down, and he said that the Ravens will initially have about $13 million in cap space at this point. And of course, that number could change with extensions or contract restructures, but that gives us a framework for a starting point in terms of the cap space that the Ravens are working with. Now, this could mean that the Ravens try to work out a deal with starting left tackle Ronnie Stanley. He is scheduled to be one of the top free agents in the NFL this offseason. He's probably going to get about $20 million a year in terms of an average contract, and he has spent his entire career here in Baltimore. He's a leader of that offensive line group, so I think he would love to stay in Baltimore if the money works out. I also think the increased cap makes it more likely that the Ravens could afford to keep him here in the purple and black. Starting left guard Pat McCary is also set to hit the open market. It's going to be tough if the Ravens have to replace both starters on the left side of that offensive line, so I'm sure they're considering ways to bring back one or both of these guys. Now, the Ravens could be talking with McCary and Stanley and trying to navigate whether it's realistic to bring both or either of these guys back in 2025. The Ravens also just have more money to play with when it comes to signing other free agents. Eric DeCosta has been active in the free agency market. Go back and look at recent years. Derrick Henry, Odell Beckham Jr., those are some recent examples. So if there's a player who makes sense for the Ravens in free agency, DeCosta is going to go after them. There's a limit to that, of course, but having more money under their salary cap gives DeCosta and the Ravens more flexibility to go that route in free agency. Now, all of this is certainly going to be a topic of conversation when we hear from DeCosta next week at the Combine, so we're going to cover all of that. Stay tuned. It's a lot going on right now, and again, that Combine is next week, and we're going to be breaking down all of that and covering it throughout the week in Indianapolis. So that's it for me today. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.